In this WrestleTalk news, Tony Khan shoots on WWE, Roman Reigns panic, Laurie's review of NXT 2.0, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos. Yesterday I said I'd dress up as Blue Miz if we passed 815,000 subscribers this week, and we actually lost subscribers yesterday. I think we've all learnt a valuable lesson here. Never go full Blue Miz.
Support WrestleTalk!
Remember those joke paid ads Tony Khan would have on Impact Wrestling to hype up AEW, and he played the role of a crazy wrestling promoter whose money and power has gone to their head? Well, dust off the douchebag sunglasses, because that gimmick just got called up to the main roster. After practically 2 years of interviews not talking the smack about WWE, instead taking the moral high ground to focus on making AEW the best it possibly can be, Tony Khan just did a shoot promo on how bad Raw is. Speaking to Barstool Sports' Robbie Fox, Khan talked about his feelings on SmackDown going long this Friday to cut into Rampage's time slot.
They're literally going to do a half-hour head-to-head with us. That's fine, okay? And we'll see what happens. I'm not saying for sure we'll win, and maybe the odds are against us in some ways, but we're going to do the better show, I know. And if you don't believe me, watch the go-home show they did last night, because it sucked. And am I? Did you watch it last night?
No, I didn't.
Have you heard it was bad?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and like that's the prevailing opinion is.
I watched Scream last night for the first time. Good movie.
I saw you said that, and you said like it hit the ground running. It's a great.
Robbie, what are you doing talking about Scream? The man was just cutting a shoot promo on WWE, and you're distracting him with the genre-redefining 90s horror movie directed by Wes Craven, where they took the brave decision to kill off the film's biggest star, Drew Barrymore, in the opening. Oh, God damn it, you've done it to me too! NXT was always on the back foot in the Wednesday Night Wars, reacting to what AEW was doing. But this is the main roster, bucko, and Vince has struck first, extending this Friday's SmackDown by 30 minutes and making it commercial-free. This has prompted AEW to do their first overtly counter-programming move, something they've boasted not to have done until now, announcing Rampage will put on an hour-long pre-show on YouTube that will go head-to-head with the second hour of SmackDown, featuring Bobby Fish versus Lee Moriarty, which is fine, I'll enjoy that, and the dream match of Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki. Personally, I think this is a genius response. SmackDown is very much expected to beat Rampage in the TV ratings, with SmackDown the far biggest show and Rampage's viewership falling dramatically over the last month. So why not have AEW beat WWE elsewhere by putting this pre-show on YouTube, which accumulates views from all around the world, not just the United States. The Rampage pre-show could feasibly pull in between 1 or 2 million viewers, which will make it look like they've beaten SmackDown's expected 1 million number on FS1. In TV ratings, that doesn't mean anything, but in the war of perception, and isn't that what wrestling is? A war based on perception. It's an AEW victory. Like Germany in World War II though, in a fighting both the Allied forces and Russia sense, I'm not calling anyone a Nazi here. I'm not left-wing Twitter. WWE is fighting a war on 2 fronts, and Raw appears to be spread thin. Monday's episode lost almost 300,000 viewers from the previous week, pulling in only 1.58 million, which is the 6th lowest audience in Raw's history. And it wasn't just people at home who weren't showing up. Monday's episode was also the lowest attended since WWE returned to touring. Ticket sales are also reportedly way down for the Raw in Long Island on the 29th of November, which is particularly embarrassing as AEW have almost tripled sales for the same venue the following week. In what appears to be a panic move to shift more tickets, WWE have announced Roman Reigns will now be on that show, despite it being the week after brand crossovers are supposed to finish with Survivor Series. Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this episode's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, which you can download to your mobile phone or PC for free using my links below. Raid Shadow Legends is the greatest mobile game of all time, a dark fantasy RPG where you amass a team of champions to play through the campaign mode and save the world of Teleria, or just to beat your friends. Screw you, Adam. And because this is a wrestling YouTube channel and it's October, you're damn right I'm gonna do a list ranking the spookiest champions in the game based on WWE characters. No, not you, Death Knight. You're being too clingy. Go away, Death Knight. You're not in the list. In at number 5, we've got the Masked Fearmonger, aka Karrion Kross on a cold day. Number 4 is Braun Strowman's new Impact Wrestling name, Miscreated Monster Among Men. Number 3, Little Miss Annie, who's Lily's older, even more attractive sister. The other big dog, Brackus, is at number 2, and the number 1 spookiest Raid character is Harvest Jack, if only because it reminds you that Finn Balor almost once dressed up as a Pumpkin King. The character design is one of my favourite parts about Raid Shadow Legends. But they're also adding new stuff in all the time. This month we'll see Halloween special rewards, tournaments against other players, special fragments for new legendary champions, including a very spooky Halloween champion and more. There's never been a better time to get started, so download Raid using our links in the video description below, or simply scan my QR code on screen now, and you'll get the epic hero Chanuru, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard to summon yourself another champion as soon as you get in the game. All this treasure will be waiting for new players here for the next 30 days. Raid have been huge supporters of us for years, so please do at least click the link and check them out, as it really helps our channel. Support WrestleTalk and raid that raid.
It's time for NXT, and Tempest is away this week, so I'm stepping in to head up the review. I mean, you couldn't have gone on holiday before the 2.0 rebrand, Tempest, could you? Though actually this was a pretty good episode of NXT. The show begins with Hit Row being attacked earlier in the day by Legado del Fantasma, who return to their kidnapping ways as they bundle everyone except Swerve into the SUV and drive off. And it's not the only kidnapping in this episode. We then see Joe Gacy in the ring, who says some stuff about us all being his special snowflakes and how he's going to beat Ciampa to get into the Halloween Havoc match. Yeah, right. The match sees Ciampa beat the brakes off Gacy, who doesn't get much time to shine against the champion, which feels a little anti the 2.0 direction, but hey ho, it's good to see Ciampa do what Ciampa does best, beat the brakes off people. Joe gets in a little offense, picking Ciampa up into a powerbomb like it ain't no thing, fluffing a moonsault and then having his springboard countered with a sliding dropkick and a fairy tale ending to finish things up. Post-match, Haaland, who's been lurking in the crowd, lays out Ciampa and grabs Gacy by the throat. But the monster just wants to be loved, because Joe sort of strokes his face, which causes him to have a moment of humanity and then run off. I'm now expecting the NXT crowd to burn down Haaland's windmill at Halloween Havoc. Toxic Attraction arrive to cut a promo with Gigi and JC saying they want a shot at the tag titles, and Mandy setting her sights on Raquel Gonzalez. Zion Quinn, named after a nasal decongestant spray, keeps to his winning ways with an easy victory over Malik Blade. A bit of a war dance and the running forearm clears things up nicely. Ciampa's then interviewed backstage, but he's interrupted by the grizzled young vets, who say that they can't wait to watch Tommy Champs after 900-something days clawing his way back to the title, beaten by a rookie, which then summons Bron Breakker from the ether to scare them off. He says that he's got Ciampa's back till Halloween Havoc because he wants to beat him at his best. He's gonna beat him at his best, isn't he? Anywho, they're tagging against GYV next week. How in the shit are they going to coexist? Next, Diamond mines Ivy Nile, who's off the rocks, you know, the steroids and, eggs. The eggs and tequila version of Ninja Warrior that The Rock made, the Titan Games, made her in-ring debut against Valentina Feroz. Now, Nile is strong. She is Judi Dench, dominating the entire affair with impressive displays of power, and ended it with some squats and a sort of torture rack thing that bent Feroz in half. Bivens then cut a promo putting over Nile, the Creeds, Roddy. Sorry, Hachi Man, no praise for you, but Ikeman Jiro then interrupts and draws the ire of Julius Creed, who's ready to go, and so they go. Creed is an absolute beast, ragdolling Jiro around the ring before his sort of flash of the jacket, the weird headstand splash thing he does, and an Asai moonsault swings things back in Jiro's favour, but not for long, as the rollover slam and sliding clothesline wrap it all up for Creed. This really felt like the show beginning to pick up some momentum, and the crowd were really behind Jiro as he made his short-lived comeback. Diamond Mine continued the assault though post-match, with Kushida then running out to try to make the save, but meeting a similar fate to his countrymen. Before we move on, we just need to thank He Can Last Sean for Longer Than You in the Ring and the bad one, Ryan B. Bad, for their support on Patreon. Next up, Raquel Gonzalez accepted Mandy Rose's challenge, saying she wanted to spin the wheel and make the deal. And then we had lashing out with Lash Legend. The less said about that, the better. The last ride of the Crinkle Cup Bruiserweights came next as Ridge Holland and his Beef Chris teamed up with P. Dunny one final time before he goes to SmackDown full-time. Fat lot of good it did them though against the power of a second-generation superstar like Von Wagner, who is both tall and can hit tires with a hammer. This was actually quite a fun little sprint with Kyle and Pete carrying things with their technical back and forth, building to a monster truck rally as both Ridge and Wagner hit the ring. The twisting double underhook suplex puts Ridge away and seemingly Kyle's singles run as well. Andre Chase then taught us the value of ring awareness at his university, kicking someone out of class when they asked if it was cheating to push someone's leg back into the ring. It's the same joke again. It's a good joke. It's quite a good joke, but you've told it before. Who are you, Ollie Davis? Tony D'Angelo says some mafia stuff and has someone in the trunk of his car. I actually quite like these promos. Then Sir Smarm himself, Duke Hudson, took on Grayson Waller, a former Golden Glove boxing champ who swung and missed on a springboard and earned a roll-up with a bit of tights for his troubles. Waller was then spotted backstage later, not that bothered about his loss, doling out dating advice to Cameron Grimes, who despite making all of his money trading stocks online, apparently has never seen Tinder. Imperium then spoke both German and Italian in a promo, and is the action of heels if you ask me. We then got Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta absolutely dominating Saray and Amari Miller. It was short, it lacked a little bit of flow, but Persia got to show off some of her strength while she carried Miller around the ring. She fended off Saray with a big boot, and that set Hartwell up for a dive and to pick up the victory. Post-match, Pirotta says, why don't they go after the tag titles? Which brings out Io and Zoe, and Io, she don't like anyone. I mean, she did a bit of comedy where she almost teased that she did like Zoe, but she don't. She don't like anyone. Toxic Attraction then joined the promo round table. It devolves into a bit of a brawl, setting up a triple threat for Halloween Havoc. That's all fine. We then got a brief tease for Solo Sikoa, the street champion of the island, who is the son of Rikishi Sifa Fatu. And the North American title match between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar managed to live up to at least one of their names, as the pair put on an absolutely worthy main event match and a fitting finale for Scott before he becomes full-time SmackDown with the rest of Hit Row. Things start hot as Swerve meets Santos on the outside. He hits the Fosbury flop, then Santos hits a huge top rope Rana and splash before Legado run down to distract, but Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams arrive to even the odds, giving Swerve the chance to dump Santos into the turnbuckle and hit his JML driver for the win. The win! Oh yeah, he's going to SmackDown because Hayes hits the ring to raise Swerve's hand before nailing him with a clothesline, cashing in his breakout tournament contract for the North American title. And the crowd were hyped for this, especially as Swerve does a last-ditch kick out off a springboard elbow, but the pump kick and the leg drop to the back of the net put Swerve down for good. Carmelo Hayes is the new North American champion. I like that. I like it. And all in all, it's a fun episode of NXT with a great main event and the first of that fresh crop of talent getting their big win and the title to go along with it. Hayes was absolutely the right choice for this, though I'm not entirely convinced that the Von Wagners of the world or the Joe Gacy's have quite made a case for why they're in the ring with the likes of Ciampa, O'Reilly and Dunn just yet. I'm giving this episode of NXT a very high 3 out of 5. Not high enough to be a 4, but still a 3. And before I go, do you like Mean Girls? Because of course you do. You go Glen Coco, because myself, Adam and Sully and the rest of the Board Game Club played the new Mean Girls game over on No Rolls Barred, and we were the meanest of mean girls to each other. Go and check it out.
What strange thing do they do every year on their birthday? Watch every video they've ever made and hang out with their friends.
Come on! They're real friends. Laurie, you're my real friend, right? Laurie? Laurie!
Describe their hair in one word. Compensating.
Oh! You're not getting any more points off me, Laurie.